Yesterday was Andy Warhol's 83rd birthday, and we're celebrating it here at the Pollock Krasner house with an exhibition called 15 Minutes, Homage to Andy Warhol.
The show is called 15 Minutes, Homage to Andy Warhol. I'm Jeff Gordon. I knew Andy and I liked Andy. I've been doing recording projects with painters and conceptual artists and poets for over 30 years. And when I did my first one in 1980, Andy Warhol was the first person to give me great publicity. He did a feature article on me and the project in Interview magazine. And then we got to know each other, and we liked each other, and we were both fascinated with recording. Over the years I've done dozens of them, but I wanted to do something about Andy. And the painter and my wife, Path Sung, was the one who suggested doing one of my projects around Andy Warhol. And as soon as she said that, I said, that's it. I want to do a project called 15 Minutes. We're going to approach 17 or 18 people who knew Andy, worked with Andy, and ask them to do things. And unbelievably, we've got artists such as Ultraviolet, Bridget Berlin, Vincent Fremont, John Giorno, Alexander Henrici, Bob Dylan, Patti Smith, Path Sung, Lawrence Weiner, contemporary artists like Connie Beckley, Eura Adams, Nat Finkelstein, a lot of people who were associated with Andy over the years, Christopher Makos, etc. Path and I asked each artist to do a recording and then a silkscreen. Silkscreens were printed by Alexander Henrici, who did major silkscreens with Andy for years. And we called the box set 15 Minutes. And it's a way of my remembering Andy, because he was not only incredibly important, a genius, but his influence increases as time goes on. And I wanted to pay him respect for that. And so we've gotten all these people together, and that's what the show is about. Thank you.
I'm Alexander Henrici, and I printed all the prints in the show here at the Pollock Krasner house. But I got the job because I also printed all the Andy Warhol paintings and portraits from 1970 to 78.
We had a lot in common. Warhol is to pop art as Pollock is to abstract expressionism, the acknowledged leader and symbol of his respective movement. They were both born into working-class families that had no art background, both grew up outside major art centers, and both came to New York to fulfill their destinies, and both retreated to Eastern Long Island to escape the pressures of the New York art scene. And perhaps most important, long after their deaths, both continue to inspire contemporary artists working in many different genres. So when Jeff Gordon suggested a show that proved Warhol's spirit is alive and well, I said, let's do it. It seems that no matter how weird the scheme, nobody can refuse Jeff, who credits Andy with the success of his first such project, Revolutions Per Minute, a collection of sound and spoken word pieces by visual artists that was released in 1982. So when Jeff went to Adam Block, the head of Sony Legacy Recordings, with the improbable idea of getting a bunch of Warhol associates and admirers to collaborate on a visual and audio art project, well, naturally Adam Block said, let's do it. It was his vision and commitment that made the project happen. So please join me in thanking him, as well as Randy Hecker, Legacy's Senior Director of Media Relations, Tom Cording, the head of Legacy's Publicity Division, and Adam Zelinka, the product manager for the 15 Minutes box sets of prints and records. Thank you all so much. And I have to say, Sony and everyone there has been a real pleasure to work with. And we also owe a debt of gratitude to the 17 individuals, several of them here today, who contributed their work to the collection, and one especially whom, as master printer, Alexander Henrici, produced the gorgeous suite of silkscreens that comprises the exhibition and the deluxe limited edition 15 minutes box. Thank you, Alex.